My name is Pato, and today I'm going to review the APFG MCX Spear LT. So this is the LT version, meaning it's a 5.56 and 300 blackout caliber size, so it's not the new fancy caliber that the US Army is going to adopt, or not the version of it. And of course this is the AIRSOFT version, the GBBR gun from APFG. So this is the 9-inch version, so it's the short one, and I have the 11.5-inch version for you later. So I've got both versions here to show off, and also to have an overlook, and also some of the differences between the two. The gun comes in a package like this. I ordered it from Fitzner Waffen in Germany, because I'm based in Germany, and Germans have to buy guns through German resellers, and more on that later. But it came through this packaging, and it just says basically made in Taiwan, no markings, nothing telling you what's in there, and then it simply has some styrofoam cutouts. And for both guns, the 9-inch and the 11.5-inch version, is the same packaging, so absolutely identical. Obviously cost saving in that regard. In Germany it costs 750 euros a piece. The price for the short and the long version is identical, so doesn't matter which version you get, you pay the same. Alright, so let's go through the gun and through the externals first, and then move into internals, and then chrono it and shoot it, and at the end I will have some opinions, the good and the bad ones. So overall, the fit and finish of the gun, so let me get a bit closer here, it is just excellent. I really like it a lot. It feels very good. The finish is very nice. It's all CNC'd and anodized, and I think the anodizing is done in just the right colors. So of course I got some attachments on it. I got an EO tag, I got a dummy light and a dummy suppressor on it because German laws. And speaking of German laws, I cannot show you full auto because full auto is not allowed in Germany. So this gun does not have any full auto capability. However, everything else is stock. The internals are all stock. I didn't change anything with that. The gun is brand new, just arrived last week. And so yeah, let's go through it. So externally, we got QD style points on both sides. We got both sides fire selector. Very snappy, feels very nice. That feels pretty good. Forward assist non-functional. Then of course mag release like normal AR-15 styles. Here normal button. But then here also down this here is the bolt release. So this is on the right side, but also like normal mag bolt release on the left side. Same with the mag release, here it's on the left side. So everything, all the controls are ambidextrous, which is extremely nice, and all of them feel very, very sturdy, very smooth. So let me lock in the bolt. So we even have this feature here. You can hold this down and lock back the bolt. So all of that feels really, really good. Yeah, so now I can put the gun into safety because I just cocked it. Before, like with an M4, you cannot cock the trigger, you cannot put the safety on if the hammer is not cocked. Right, moving to the front, we got an M-LOK handguard. A couple attachments already on it. So again, the light and the AIRSOFT Artisan hand stop, which forces me into this really comfortable position of handling the gun, and it's like it just feels right, like of the gun, of the finish, but also gripping the gun like this feels very good. Obviously a big part of that is also the finish, and yeah, how those corners here are made. It feels pretty good. Alright, then another control here. This is the gas port on the rear gun. It would be the gas port on the rear gun, of course. and it would have, I think it has two settings, normal and adverse. But in the AIRSOFT version, this is the hop-up adjustment bar, and you could turn the bar with your hands or with your fingers, but the bar is very stiff, which I think is good, because then the recoil or handling the gun will not adjust the hop-up. For example, the VFC MP7 is suffering a bit from an issue where it adjusts itself after some shooting. But it comes with an Allen key, but I'm going to use this one because this one is just better. And you can very smoothly and very nicely adjust and turn this this hop-up adjustment bar. And then also in turn on the hop-up itself, it translates just as nicely on the trajectory of the BB. So, and that I really like. So the gearing from turning the bar to the hop-up arm and then to the knob and hop-up, etc. is really nice. However, speaking of the hop-up, so because it's also stock, the hop-up is over-hopping like crazy. So you cannot shoot 32s, 36, 40 BBs with green gas. The only way I managed this gun to shoot straight and far was with 45s, and the hop-up almost turned down all the way. Only way. So I think that's a big minus point, and obviously there's something I need to change, and maybe APFG needs to change in the future as well. There are aftermarket parts available to have a different bar and a different hop-up arm to fix this issue. So this is a non-issue. And both my guns have this, so this is not just a fluke of, like, you know, different guns, different behaviors. So this is kind of maybe a bit by design. However, you need to shoot really heavy BBs, and I would like to have the option to shoot 36, which some people really would say also is pretty heavy, but well, not heavy enough apparently. And so that's something I would like to change, and I'm going to change with adjusting the hop-up arm and maybe also changing out the hop-up rubber. Then another point, moving into internals. So the inner barrel has a length of 138 millimeters, and that's the same for both guns. So I'm going to show the 11.5 inch version in just a second. But even, let's look at the 9 inch version. So 138, so I don't know, like something like here, like where the gas port ends. And that's not really long. Like, I mean, it could be longer, right? Like it could be up here until the flash hider starts. So that's like, let's try it again. So like 7, 8 centimeters kind of missing, that could be real estate for a longer inner barrel. On the 11.5 inch version, because it's also 138 millimeters, that is even more extreme. I think that's a big minus point. I'm very excited about that, because in Germany we are not allowed to change barrel lengths, or specifically inner barrel lengths, and which means us Germans, we are stuck with that length. So, very unfortunate. Something else I just forgot to mention is the stock. So the stock is foldable. So basically you push your thumb like this, and then you pull it up, and then you can twist it, and then it locks in. So it's not gonna go anywhere. Locks in really nicely, so that's really good. And the same way you can fold it, and snaps in really nice. Nothing is twisting. So, you know, like, maybe on GBBs not so much, but on AHGs, you know, like, things are twisting, also on VFC guns. Things like that. This gun, no. Everything is very sturdy. Everything clicks really nicely. So, like, let's me insert the magazine. So, and the magazine itself, also minimal movement. Nothing rattles. Yeah. So, that feels really nice. All the controls. Speaking of really nice, let's try the trigger. So there's a bit of a, it's very stiff, I would say, the first resistance. Then there's a wall coming. Yeah, there's the wall. Now it's there. Bit more resistance, and now release. So, and now there's the reset. And we can go again. And that initial fall of the hammer here, now, that is so satisfying. It's so good. I wouldn't change anything on this trigger. It's just perfect. It is quite heavy, the initial pull, but I like it that way. And it's just, it feels really good. Let me say it that way. Okay. Marking. So APFG did not in this version, and I got this a week ago, this gun, so it's quite a recent version, I would say. You can see some, you know, like some placeholders where, you know, the markings of the real one, or like the manufacturer markings should be. And also here on this side, on the mag wall, and on this side, no markings whatsoever. However, we got really nice engravings of the selector, both sides of course. We got here this A, probably for APFG, and we got multical on the bolt carrier. Then on the front we got the, move the cable out of the way, the plus and the minus for the hop-up adjustment, also engraved in. And that's it on the markings. Let's move in on the internals. So that's the bolt carrier, and looks really good, I would say. It runs really smoothly. Has this dual spring design. You can change out the springs for lighter ones. They are available on AliExpress, and for winter mode or less recoil, depending on how you want to do it. It's also creased up quite nicely with like a thicker grease, which will stay long. So snaps really nicely. No NPAS on both versions. So NPAS is not installed. However, VFC and other aftermarket NPAS do fit in there. Also, hammer group and well, trigger group, really nicely, very nicely done. Steel components, and the body is made out of aluminium CNC. So let me put this back together. So you need to see this notch here. This needs to go beyond, so like this, and then the bolt should just drop in like this, goes back together, pin in, and that's it. Works totally fine. Okay, let me show you the 11.5. So, side-by-side comparison, you can see it also has some goodies already attached, but let me try to hold this properly. So that is the length difference. Of the two guns. And well, let's stay with this gun. We're gonna chrono and shoot this gun, the short one again later. Again, put on the hand stop like this. Feels really nice. It's very good to hold, very ergonomic. I wouldn't change the stock length, so for my size it's completely fine. Some people may want to have it adjustable. There are some options available to do that. But this one is non-adjustable. So, what's the difference of the short versus the long? It's just longer. There's no other difference. even the internals, even the inner barrel, as I said before, is the same length, 138 millimeters. Meaning, let me get the measurement that does not lie. 138, like roughly about here. This is where the inner barrel ends. So I think this is quite the disappointment, I would say. Again, for us Germans even more so, but also I think also international customers would expect or want the length of the outer to be used by the inner barrel to use that real estate. That being said, both guns shoot the same. They have the same shooting image. They should have Chrono the same. They should with the same gas and BBs because, well, internally the system is the same. And that is the case. We're gonna see it later. That being said, it shoots actually with 45s again because both of them are all hopping quite a bit. But with 45s, they are shooting extremely good and extremely far. Where I'm very impressed with that short of a barrel that they're shooting this accurate. So that I have to say, they don't shoot bad. I think they just could shoot a hell of a lot better with a proper inner barrel. And again, as Germans, we are stuck with it. And that's very unfortunate. I'm gonna make use of it, of course. And but if you're international and your local laws, please check, allow for it, then you may want to switch out the barrel and make use of the real length of the other barrel. So what else do I have on here? That's the Tango T6 with the nice, well, manufacturer markings. A dummy. This is a dummy light, again, German laws do not allow for that, unfortunately, and a dummy suppressor, which is a quick detached one. And that's about it. So everything else is functionally exactly the same as the short version I just showed you. So I'm not going to show again. And I would say let's go into the shooting, the chronoing with 45s. So just for reference, I'm using Nimrod green gas in the magazines. Oh, one more thing, magazine comes with one of these magazines, which are basically the VFC V3 grey Stanek magazines. They're very nice, nicely made. They have this nice smooth finish and the steel retainer here. So they click in really nicely and interface really nicely with the gun. Yeah. Something else, they have this feature so you can disable the bolt catch with sliding this lever, so it will not engage the bolt catch if you just want to dry fire the gun and don't want to run into bolt catch, because right now magazine is empty, so you see it runs into the bolt catch. Then let's shoot this. Alright, that was the chronoing. As you can see, very similar results between the two guns, very comparable, same inner barrel length, same system behind, same gas, same BBs, same results. As for the chronoing as well as for how they're shooting. I can't show you how they shoot, unfortunately, in this video, but it's kind of the same. So, for me, very nice gun, very playable, apart from the 45 gram or the overhopping issue. But apart from that, very playable, don't need to change anything on the gas system or the carrier system or anything like that. very good. 1.15, 1.17 joules, just right for me to play as well. I don't need much more really. So I'm very happy with the result, or with this gun in general. It just feels amazing, it handles amazing, it shoots amazing, it feels amazing. If you want to see more like this, also subscribe to the channel, and also let me know how you like this video. Let's end here, shall we?